It's the dawning of a new tournament in North America. An exclusive junior golf invitational blended with some of the greatest legends of the game. An event designed to enhance the future of junior golf across the globe. This is the Major Champions Invitational, and its mission is to give hope and encouragement to all dreamers through the game of golf. Their potential is limitless, and this event could be one of their major stepping stones to stardom.
It's amazing to see the Major Champions and learn off Nancy Lopez, Nick Faldo, Anka Sorenstam. I mean, those are all living legends.
With them being here, you realize that it's a whole nother level than just a junior tournament, even though the guys and girls here are really good. I mean, they're amazing.
Sir Nick Faldo is probably one of my all-time favorites.
It's great to represent major champions like Mr. Nicholas. It's a true honor.
They talk to you as if they're a normal person, which they are, but I mean, well, kind of, they're not actually. And to meet them, it's amazing, it's fantastic.
Sir Nick Faldo leads the charge to connect the past with the future. His drive to succeed is unwavering, and he remains dedicated to a sport that has treated him so well.
Hello friends, and welcome to a very special hour featuring the biggest names in golf, showing their gratitude to the game by holding the door open to the next generation. Underwritten by the champions themselves, who answered a single and personal request. It is unique in countless ways to our sport. The first Major Champions Invitational, an extension of the 21-year-old global Faldo Series, which saw 19 major champions, both men and women, answer Sir Nick Faldo's invitation to bring the world's juniors, both boys and girls, to compete under their storied names. The inspirational messages and lessons for the juniors were aplenty. The message from Nick and the 19 champions who supported the event was singular. We are grateful to golf.
Once we pieced things together, I was really delighted and humbled how more and more players understood what I was doing. When you're trying to explain a new event, a new concept, I was delighted that players got it for different reasons. The very first one I spoke to was Henrik Stenson. And I said, what do you think of this for an idea? And he got it straight away. He said, well, I have my own qualifying events in Sweden, so I could bolt on this as a prize to come. I thought, great. And then I spoke to Annika next, and same thing. So Annika's global. I said, well, I can put players in from all corners of the globe. And then I'm caught up with Rory. Same thing, Rory has his foundation, and he said, yeah, I know young golfers, I can do this. They were the first ones that I spoke to. So at the end of the day, I had 19 major champions putting all these players in from all four corners of the world. That was the mission, that was my goal. I got there, and huge big effort from many people to help me to make that happen.
They traveled from as far away as Australia, 23 countries in all, to tee it up at Bella Collina in the heart of Central Florida. 81 juniors, boys and girls ages 15 to 21 checked in. And checked out the impressive hardware. The winning team of 2 boys and 2 girls are competing for the Faldo Cup, while individual awards will be given to the low male and female golfers. After a hearty breakfast and a chance to form some friendships, it was time to head out to the course for a day to acclimate and do some fine-tuning in preparation for the 54-hole tournament.
They've been picked by major champions. That's a great start. Maybe your hero. Maybe somebody's inspired you in your own country, or even if you didn't know their name, you certainly, after you've Googled them, you go, wow, look whose team I'm on.
I think it's awesome, I really do. I think it's a fun concept to have major champions invite, the next generation's superstar. I like that it's very international. I'm in 23 different countries. Boys and girls are playing together, and to really be able to share some of our stories and our knowledge, whether it was a clinic or whether it was a Q&A, and just kind of spend time with these amateurs. I mean, I think it's very impactful to be able to inspire the next generation.
Bella Collina was a great host for us. It kind of all made sense. You know, I designed that golf course 10, 12 years ago. But more importantly, it was obviously location and the quality of everything. We could host it, we could handle an event. You know, and I came up with the idea of the date, thought, wow, if I bolt this on to Bay Hill, and then I've got Major Champions across the road playing at Arnold's event. So putting that all together, and they did a great job. They hosted it really well, and we're delighted the way it panned out that week. But the sweetest story was really the Nancy Lopez story, I think. Thanks to Google and phones, they go, oh my God, Nancy Lopez did this, did that. When she was a rookie, she won 9 times and all this sort of thing. And then boof, by the way, here is Nancy Lopez, and who was sweet as pie, sat with them, chatted to them, watched them play golf.
This is just so much fun. I love being involved with junior golf of any kind. You know, my 3 daughters don't play golf. I wish they would have, because I kind of lived through these kids that, oh, this could have been my 3 girls. But it's just so much fun to be here and, you know, share any knowledge that we have. They have a lot of great questions, and it's just kind of fun to be around golf all the time. When I was a junior golfer, we didn't have opportunity like this. So I wish we could have had this kind of opportunity where they had events for the juniors.
I think anytime you have events that bring young people together to compete is important. If you want to have golfers and you want to have them play against each other and you want to have them develop and grow the game, that's how you do it. And I think Faldo's event's a good event. Brought best players from around the world together on teams, and we all had a team that they were representing.
I think it's very important for us to, you know, to grow the game and give back. And for me, like, my passion is, you know, is junior golf and, you know, South Carolina junior golf, which is where I grew up playing. So just talking to Nick, the things they were doing, you know, was for charity. They were going to take care of the kids, really, you know, put on a nice event for them. And so for me, you know, it was just a no-brainer for me to be able to sponsor a team to go play in a great event that Nick put on. I was very happy to do it.
When we come back, the tournament gets underway. The Major Champions Invitational. Today's the day. A cold, rainy, and windy Florida morning was what welcomed the golfers to their opening round.
This is real golf today, okay? All right. Representing Tony Jacklin from the United States, Daniel McKenzie. Northern Ireland, representing Team Rory McIlroy, please welcome Tom McKibben. When Nick asked me to help out, I jumped at the chance because within his Faldo series, what he does for juniors around the world is really amazing. Nice to meet you. How are you? Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. I think this is all about growing the game, and that's what I think Nick wants to do with the Faldo series. He wants to be able to get these kids into the game. And I think if you can introduce them to these major champions and give them a real tournament feel, a real major champion feel out here, I think that only helps their development.
They all have great attitudes, and I think they're just going to have a great time. And I told them as long as they give 100%, that's all that matters, because even 100% sometimes is not perfect. So you got to have a good time, enjoy golf, because I always did. You know, when I didn't have a good round, I just wanted to give 100%, and then I walked away feeling good about it.
Right to left and calculate the wind. He's got the right idea. Oh, come on. Break and blow.
It's a good putt.
Yeah, right, I did.
It looked like it was going to break more, didn't it?
Yeah. Hey, thanks. We're off and running. I'm delighted because we've made something happen. And I know it's good for you because you have your own everybody's come to this in a different way. You have your own qualifying events in Sweden.
Yeah.
You know, Rory has a foundation. Annika, like me, has a series across the world. I've got global teams and Adam Scott's Aussie team.
It's obviously great fun to have a team here. Fanny and I got that stance on soonest on Junior Challenge, and I think that was as good of as a first prize as we could possibly give to the juniors back home to get over here and be part of this, and also at that age to see the world, you know, meet players from other parts of the world, and it's a learning. If you're tour pro on the line, I mean it's a learning curve of anything from traveling to bring your game around the world and play different golf courses and all that, and you know, they might meet friends here that they're going to see on tour in 15 years time and so on.
We all, whether it's a Rory McIlroy, Seve Ballesteros, God rest him, or Nick, think back to those early days and what Nicklaus inspired Nick Faldo. We know that. He saw him and thought, I want some of that. I can do that. And he dedicated himself to it. And this is what it's all about. It's being inspired. And in many ways, that's the best time of all. Because, you know, winning all this stuff, it's nice, it's important. But the journey really begins with the inspiration. This event is going to go on to bigger and better things. The way the world is today and the communication we have and Nick's dedication to it, I'm going to help him any way I can to grow this thing.
"18-year-old Julian Perico from the United States, representing Team John Daly, took control early. He shot an 8-under par round of 64 to take a one-stroke lead in the male division after 18 holes.
We had a very special man came along. Lou Holtz came to talk to the kids. We thought this would be a great idea. But I really want to thank David and Scott Law from the Zotec company for helping bring Lou to the event. He was absolutely fantastic. The kids loved him.
Now, I know the people in this room have all have high aspirations. Maybe you want to be a professional golfer. Maybe you want to win a major. Then answer these questions honestly. Who do I have to work with in order to be great? Because you aren't going to do it on your own. Whether you're talking about your parents, your teacher, your coach, etc. The last question you have to answer is, what problems and obstacles am I going to have to overcome in order to be great? So you play the tournament tomorrow. You can fool me. You can fool the guy you're playing with or the girl you're playing with. But you can't fool yourself. When you put your head on the pillow, you and you alone know that I do everything I possibly could to prepare for this moment. What Nick Faldo has done with this event is absolutely tremendous. I know it's the first annual one. I'm sure it's going to get even better in the future. But you're very fortunate to be here, and thank you, Nick, for all the things you do. Thank you. Wait. One minute. I just want to do a simple little magic trick for you. This like any other newspaper. You have front page for people who want to read the news. You have the comics for people who can't read. And we have the editorial page for people who can't think. But so many times, we think there's such a thing as magic. There isn't. It's about having a faith and a belief in yourself. See, ladies and gentlemen, you can succeed when no one believes in you. You have no chance to succeed if you do not believe in yourself. And I cannot begin to tell you how important it is to have a faith and a confidence in yourself. That will usually come when you do everything to the very best of your ability. Now, many of you are going to think you actually saw me tear up this newspaper. But if you really have a strong faith and you have a strong belief It's amazing how everything will turn out to be for the better. Somebody, thank you.
More magic in the air. When we come back, we travel across the globe to Vietnam, where the Faldo Series Asia Grand Final was held. Then to the beautiful backdrop of Abu Dhabi for its first ever World Junior event.
The Major Champions Invitational has evolved based on the tremendous success of the Faldo Series, founded over 20 years ago and now consisting of 40 tournaments in 30 countries. The series aims to create access to the game of golf for a younger generation all around the world through its grassroots initiatives.
Each event, whether it's across the whole world, is broken down into 5 age categories. You have under 21, under 18 and under 16 boys, under 21, under 16 girls. So they play their qualifier, which is predominantly 36 or 54 holes, world amateur ranking points, and then the 5 winners come through to the series grand finals, whether that's in Europe, Asia, America.
I'm delighted that the kids make such a big effort to want to play and want to qualify, and they want to win, so they come to grand finals. They enjoy coming to grand finals because we take them to pretty cool places now. We throw them in the deep end and fly them halfway around the world, and you've got jet lag and all sorts of things like that to deal with. So yeah, it's a big learning curve, and they get a chance to learn from me or other golf coaches or physical trainers around mental side of the game as well, so people can get a bit of insight into what we do, what we think. For them to have a major champion right in front of them is quite unique.
Vietnam. It is the stunning backdrop for the 2018 Asia Grand Final.
I've enjoyed the atmosphere, the camaraderie that it's created. And when we came to Asia, so they actually came as teams, as a country, so it creates a really cool atmosphere. We've got kids from India, from Pakistan, obviously from China, from Japan, from Malaysia, now we stretch down to Australia and New Zealand. So the standards is always improving, they're learning more. Kids love the opportunity to travel, gives them an experience, going somewhere different.
The participants this year landed on the lush green side of Vietnam's central coast. Laguna Lang Co, a banyan tree resort, is one of the region's premier resorts, and the Nick Faldo designed golf course is its centerpiece. Par 71, 7,000 yards, characterized by its unspoiled natural habitat and strategic hole composition.
We have great memorability on that golf course. That's what I think kids will remember, or anybody goes and plays it. They know the holes around the rice fields, then we go through the jungle, then we end up along the beach, down the river, through the rocks, back in the jungle, and then through the blowout, the sand blowout. So that is that's really quite unique. To our totally natural rock par 3. Some courses only have one theme, don't they? Some might get 2 or 3. You've got a bit of water, or a bit of ocean, or a bit of rock or mountains also. But this one's got all those different environments to walk through. So that's, I think, makes it very memorable, very special.
This year's Grand Final had a familiar face playing in the Faldo Series event. Napa Para of Thailand, known to most as Toy, wrote an incredible story 1 year ago right here in Vietnam. His 35-foot eagle putt in the final round earned a one-stroke victory. And what a movie moment it was for the 15-year-old who headlined with a Toy Story.
You did all right there. Good man. Congrats, well done. Toy Story 4.
Following his fabulous finish, Napa was granted an exemption into this year's Asia Grand Final, finishing just short of defending his title. These past 2 years at the Faldo Series has been a priceless learning experience.
It's a motivation for me to push on harder, to win more tournaments, to go to many places. Meeting Sir Nick is a great privilege to actually meet and talk to him.
some kids, you can see some have just got a little bit more, and he's obviously a confident kid, knows what he's doing. He's got eyes and ears open, isn't it? Taking everything on board. That's I think what I was so good at. I was a good listener, good watcher, good listener, and then you analyse it yourself and go off and work on it, and kind of sense he's like that, takes it all in and analyses what he needs for himself, and he's a talented kid.
Now a year older and a golf year wiser, Napa's future offers a new promise for Thai golf. The young defending champion finished 7th overall. The battle for the title would ultimately match two players aiming to make Faldo Series history. Hiroki Maya would be the first player from New Zealand to win the event, or Suzuka Yamaguchi from Japan would be the first female winner of the Asia Grand Final. The 17-year-old Yamaguchi was flawless in the final round. At one point, she increased a lead to 5 shots over Maya. Ultimately, just 2 months after winning the Australian Women's Amateur Championship, Suzuka Yamaguchi made history, becoming the first female player to win the Faldo Series Asia Grand Final.
Good, you look cool. You hold the trophy with you. Come on, let's make it look good. Ta-da! All right, you get there. we go, that's cool. Right. Well, that's very impressive. You know, we had our first girl winner for Faldo Asia Grand Final, so that's great. You know, to come here and shoot 15 under, you know, that's level 5 unders, which is very impressive, isn't it? And she's got that real steady game. I mean, you know, her swing keeps it in play. Obviously, great putting. I've just heard she's trained by Tommy Nakajima, that was back in my era. Tommy and I used to play against each other quite a bit, so that's good.
Another memorable moment in Faldo Series history. Japan's Suzuka Yamaguchi Grand Final champion. Coming up, the series sails to the United Arab Emirates outside of Abu Dhabi, where many players from Europe, Latin America, and the Middle East compete while creating lifelong memories.
From one grand final in Vietnam to another in the United Arab Emirates, where players from many different countries competed, including Brazil, Australia, England, Ireland, Scotland. Well, they all experienced not only the warm hospitality, but also plenty of fierce competition.
The UAE consists of 7 emirates, where Abu Dhabi is the island capital. And while the whole world knows about their massive oil reserves, the UAE has much more to offer. An hour inland from Abu Dhabi and just southeast of Dubai is the epicenter of the Faldo Series Grand Final at Al Ain. Al Ain is the largest inland city, and although some of its borders consist of unique and visually dynamic sand deserts, the core of Al Ain is quite tropical. Nicknamed the Garden City of the Gulf, there are many must-sees and must-do.
It really is a unique destination in the UAE. We're based in Al Ain, but the variety of events or a variety of activities that are available here, all in the same resort. So we're obviously part of the golf club, but there's also the equestrian centre, the shooting club, have the rugby club, the cricket club, the horse racing. So the added activities outside of golf for people to enjoy.
It's a fantastic one-stop shop for it. Flying the golfers in is easy, hotels, transportation, and a great club, really good golf course, great facilities, under just about guaranteed great weather. So for us, and the kids loved it. That's another important thing, and it's a good challenge.
There's no tournament like it. There's no other opportunity throughout the year to come away, especially this time of year, and compete, especially for amateurs anyway. So yeah, no, I'm really, really grateful to be able to come out here and compete. It's good fun. Yeah.
I think the thing we enjoy is the other players that we meet and the other families from all over the world. I think it brings everybody together, all these good players, these great players, and obviously having Sir Nick around as well. it links everybody together. So it's like a big family.
You meet each other on the course and after, and you ask what it's like, how did you play, what did you think of like this hole, what did you do there? And well, I think because you have like this similar thing to talk about, because you love it both, it's really easy to like make conversation and make friends really easy.
Everyone makes you feel special, and like the cameras around and everything, you like almost feel like you're on tour. So like pressure's a bit more up, but just the experience in general is so amazing. And I can't believe it's actually happening.
Guaranteed hot weather, it's amazing. I didn't actually put sun cream on until my 15th hold stay. Bit of a stupid mistake. Probably look like a salmon right now.
So I've never actually been outside of Europe, so Faldo Series organisation has helped me, sort of get out there, play in different weather conditions, play in a completely different environment with completely new people, which, to be honest with you, I think is absolutely excellent. And I think it should be in the Middle East, America, different places, each year, so these people from Europe get to experience different places, because when it all comes down to the end and playing across the world, that's obviously, that's what we're all aiming for. So, why you put it out there so you start to get used to it now?
That they get this experience smack bang in their face, and the only person who can teach them about it, actually I can help them along, but it's themselves. They're learning themselves. That's the best way to learn, is to learn from a raw experience.
You compensate. Do something with your body.
Faldo Series, the way I perceive it, is that you give a tool for young people to grow as human beings by golf. Golf is a means of growing as a human being. And I hope they get, as you can see with Nick around, they have access to one of the best in the world. And just his way of being, they can, model him.
They're all drawing off his experiences. He's giving his advice to all of them, which is obviously going to help them, because they're looking to further their golfing careers and maybe again, or in the future, enter one of the tours and play golf for a living.
What do you get from Sir Nick, with him being here? Does that bring anything to the table?
Does it bring anything to the table? Yes, of course it does. Who's better to be giving you tips than a 6-time major champion like that? I mean, it's amazing, yeah. Listening to everything he says, just taking it all in, it's amazing.
Right, gang. Ha! Hello, golfers.
Hey, Sir Nick.
Part of the fabric of this series is Sir Nick's commitment to each player, here, straight off the plane, to honor a practice round request.
Got to work on our bumps, eh?
One of the favorites leading into the week was Daniel Gale. The Australian put in a request to play with Sir Nick.
Wow, he hung on to it.
I try to help them out as best I can, help them to recognize who they are, because you're either very visual, i.e. you can see shots flying, or you can see yourself swing quite easily. You either thought pattern, you either think things or you feel things, and it's important for youngsters to recognize that we're all different. Nothing's right, nothing's wrong, it's you.
Now he takes the flag out and I can't see the hole. Blimey, Paul, this is... Gee, and he stands on the wrong side with the shadow. Gee whiz, everything. My goodness.
That's how I try to help them, and I tell them stories of how I was obviously very, very visual.
So you found the wisdom to golf.
The second greatest thing that happened to me was back in 1973. I went to the Open at Troon. My dad drove me up there and literally parked me on there and said, "Oh, I'll see you back here at 5 o'clock," and off I went all day. But I went to the range and sat and watched. And I watched Jack and Arnold and Gary and Lee and Johnny and Tom Weiskopf, eventual winner. And I just learned to mimic their swings. So that's how I used to go out and play. So I'd play a 3-ball with 2 of my imaginary friends. And so I was very big on that style of visualization.
Just watching him play, he just plodded along nicely, just fairway green, and just there wasn't too many errors, and it was just a real big eye-opener for me.
Thanks, mate. Good. All right, cheers, well done. Thanks, girls. Good work.
Who knows what they glean from it. You know, some will glean something I've said, something they've seen me do, and another experience of anything, from swing, technical, physical, mental, anything. So I hope that some little light bulb goes on, and I kind of like to think that some of those things hopefully stuck in there, and you know, I've been able to use it over the years.
With the practice rounds complete, it's now time for the 54-hole tournament to begin.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to round one of the Faldo Series Grand Final here at the Elaine Equestrian Shooting and Golf Club. And first off the tee from Australia, Daniel Gale.
Having played with and learned from a hero must have inspired the early favorite. Daniel got off to a great start. He shot 66 in the opening round, then followed it up with a 65 in the second round. A 9 under par total and a comfortable 5-stroke lead going into the final day. But there was one junior who was relentless in his pursuit of his first Grand Final win. Brazil's Eric Machado, a player known well to the Faldo Series as one of the most competitive golfers in the field. Eric began the final round 6 behind Daniel, but it didn't take long for him to catch and pass the leader. Eric made everything and turned with a front 9 record 29. Meanwhile, Daniel's final round was very good, but as it is with golf, sometimes just not good enough. He turned with a respectable 2 under 33, but a bogey at the 15th proved to be the dagger. He lost the tournament by a stroke. Eric's back 9 was just as impressive as his front. He birdied the 10th, and after blistering a drive at the 13th, he made birdie again. His 7th birdie of the day was at the 16th. In the end, he had made eagle on the first, along with 7 birdies, and here a par at the last equaled a course record bogey-free 61.
Eric Machado is an incredible story. This boy came from the favelas in Rio. He loves the series. He's now played 4 of them or more, 4 grand finals, and he came to Matthew and with his interpreter and said, my goal is to win. I want to win a grand final. So how cool is that? That young man's mission. And it happened. It was a really good victory. It's a really great story. This is a genuine kid who's come from absolutely nothing. He recognizes that golf is his amazing path for him and his family. And good luck to him. I hope I can help him as much as possible to get his feet on the ground and get him into professional golf.
Coming up, more from the Major Champions Invitational. Today's the day. After this. The next generation of junior golf was represented by the Little Dreams Foundation, established by singer Phil Collins and his wife Orianne. The foundation supports and develops opportunities for children with big dreams in sports and the arts.
How wonderful it is to have all these junior golfers here this week. Can you tell me a little bit how you and Phil got involved in the Major Champions event?
Well, we are a good friend with Nick and Leslie Ann, and we were talking about doing something with the kids for a long time. And we did something in Switzerland back 10 years ago. And so this time is very special for our little dreamers to be able to come all the way from Europe and to be part of this tournament.
The second round got underway on another chilly Florida morning. Akshay Bhatia of Team Nicholas was in the final grouping, 2 shots out of the lead, held by Julian Perico of Team Daly, who looked to build on his first round of 64. While Bhatia was draining birdies, Perico found himself scrambling. And just missing. His one-shot lead disappeared, and it was Batia who now led going into the final round. Abu Dhabi champion Eric Machado couldn't keep the momentum, shooting 75-77. American Grayson Watnoski posted solid rounds of 68-68 to put Team Dustin Johnson into the overall lead heading to the final day. Meanwhile, Northern Ireland's Tom McKibben of Team Rory McIlroy was making a charge, including the shot of the tournament at the par 3 16.
You got that on camera, right? I don't know, I just couldn't believe it. I just saw it disappear and everyone cheered, so I just shocked, really, just shocked.
Sweden's Lynn Grant, playing as an individual, backed up a 65 with a second round 71 to lead the female division.
I played okay. I started off kind of rough. I double bogeyed first hole, and then I made a second bogey on the second hole. And then I just had to fight back, kind of. Like Faldo said, just work on my tempo again, keep my patience, and wait for the birdies.
And you can do. And if you can
After the round, the participants gathered at the driving range to get a few tips from the six-time major champion.
Sir Nick Faldo is probably one of my all-time favorites. He's a legend, and right now in his clinic, he was like striping the ball, and it was so good to see.
A bright and sunny morning greeted the competitors for the final round of the Major Champions Invitational. 18-year-old Lynn Grant of Sweden began the day on top of the female division. 16-year-old Akshay Bhatia held a tight one-shot lead over 18-year-old Julian Perico. 15-year-old Tom McKibben. And 19-year-old Ben Wong of the United States.
I feel really fortunate to have this opportunity, and I know a lot of people love to be in my shoes, and being just one shot off the lead, I think gives me a pretty good chance of finishing it off today, and it mean a lot. And I know Akshay is a fierce competitor, and he's at 10 under, and I'm at 9, and it should be a fun day.
As the final grouping began their round, it was Tom McKibben who put the pressure on first, with deft touch around the greens. Akshay Bhatia found himself scrambling to keep up. McKibben again to force a Bhatia answer. Not this time, and the two are tied. Grayson Watnoski led the way as Team Johnson combined to shoot 19 under par and win by 7 strokes over Team Nicholas. Julian Perico remained in the hunt for low male golfer. Lynn Grant found herself coming up just short, struggling through a final round 73. Up ahead of the pack, 16-year-old Corey Lopez of Mexico started the day 6 strokes off the lead. She blistered through the course for a final round 7 under par, 65 to overtake Grant and win the female division by 2 strokes. Tom McKibben at 18, tied with Perico, needing to get up and down to win. A final round 69, 12 under total to edge out Perico by 1 shot.
Well done, fantastic. This is my very first Major Champions Invitational Boys Champion. And do you know the story?
No, I don't.
A year ago, just over a year ago, I'm with Rory, and I explained to Rory what I wanted to do. And he says to me, so what's the age group? And I said, well, 16 to 21. He says, I've got this really good kid who's 15 years old. So I said, well, guess what? The age group is now 15 to 21. I'm the boss, I make the rules. Yep. So how about that?
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
When we come back to the winners, go the trophies.
Having fun. I mean, I get to room with my best friend. I get to hang out with all my friends, eat dinner with everyone, meet the great players, and play a really, really good golf course. So it's really just fun.
If we all become very good, like Nick or Annika or anyone else, you want to give back. And I think that's his idea, to give back to all the younger players and to golf in general. And I think that's a nice thing.
Well, first of all, I'm grateful to golf because it's grown me. It's made me the person I am today. I played golf my entire life. It's taught me how to be humble, how to be gracious, manners, all of that. And it's just amazing to be able to come out here and relate to all the other top juniors. And I hope that we can inspire the next generation of junior golfers to be just as good as even better.
I did a speech probably 15 years ago in England at a little clubhouse. And I said, I just hope maybe there's a kid in this room that maybe is going to hole one of the winning putts at a Ryder Cup. And there's a little skinny kid by the name of Rory McIlroy in that room at that particular time. And Rory wasn't the Rory he is now, which really gives a pretty cool, nice little circle at how we ended up with a winner with Tom being on Rory's team winning today. So, wow, you never know. So I hope that this is our very first event that maybe, you never know, somebody's in this room and could end up being a major champion. That would be pretty darn cool. Congrats, well done. Great putt. That was a way to win. All right.
I have a lot to owe to the Faldo series, and it was great for me as a junior, and for it to expand to this Major Champions Invitational. Obviously for Tom McKibben from Northern Ireland to win and to play the way he did, and I might be in some way to do with that in terms of just inspiring him to pick up a club and play. It's a nice feeling.
It was really cool. I was really proud of the kids that played, and they played well, and they all had a lot of fun. I talked to them a couple times via text and on the phone during the week, so they really enjoyed it and had a great time.
All right. It's our way to give back to we've either got our own funds or events, or it's just a sheer invitation. It's we're all #grateful to golf. We've all been given this amazing life, and if it changes a kid's life along the way, well, that's even a better bonus to us.
So what does the future hold for junior golf? The Faldo Series continues to be played in over 30 countries across the globe, steadily increasing in popularity and importance. The inaugural Major Champions Invitational succeeded in capturing the spirit and competition of world-class junior golf And the Major Champions, by the way, they are already excited about fielding future teams.